Is this your car?
Yes.
No way, dude. Can I take a picture?
Yeah, of course.
Where did you get it at?
I built it. Well, I mean, obviously not the car, but
Yeah.
everything else on it.
Oh,
I'm with
yeah?
the Orange County Ghostbusters. We do charity work.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Damn.
We dress up in our full garb, have our proton packs, and raise money for kids.
That's what's up. Because I seen one in Brownsville, like where I'm from. They made it like the original. But this one looks like badass too, you know?
I have a friend that has one of the original
Yeah.
ones. Actually, two different friends. One in LA and one more out here that have the original ones. And then
Yeah.
we've got, in our group, we've got a truck, we've got a Suburban, mine.
This one looks badass too. Ghosts on board. Do you ever do like the night, like the ghost hunting?
Yeah, we do actual ghost hunting too.
Have you ever seen anything?
We had like mild stuff, nothing that's like, oh my gosh, crazy. But we've done, most of the stuff that we've done like before or after events, so there's a lot of people around. So that's when it's hard, because nothing's gonna really come out of it too much if it's super populated. So we want to go out and do some of the more haunted places, but with everything that's been going on, it's been hard to get that done. But that's our goal, is to go start doing more of that. But we have like the night cameras, we've got the EVP, we've got all the different things.
So have you seen like what have you seen like when you're doing that?
Mostly we've gotten voice stuff
on the EVP.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've experienced like paranormal activity since I was a little kid. Like I've witnessed like so many things you wouldn't believe me, like because it's like it would be like, where do I start?
I probably would.
Yeah, I'll be like, where do I start? But like me and my brother were like 5 years old. We were standing on the porch, and then something walked by us. It was like 7 feet tall, and it had like a light on its head, and we were just like so scared. Like we ran inside, and my parents were like, go to bed. It was nothing.
Yeah, kids are more open to it too, because they're just not jaded as much to go, okay, that's not real.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids will tell us stories and things that it's like, I mean, could be a kid making it up because it's a kid, but
at the same time,
a lot of them like tell it with such realness that it's like it might be a thing.
Yeah, well, if you go to like psych wards, there's a ton of activity there because there's like heavy presence there.
Yeah, no, one of the places,
and in the hospitals too.
One of the places that I actually have images and like fog images and things from is it's demolished now, but it was an old hospital in LA, and I forget what it was called. Yeah. But it was from the 20s. They had a psych ward there, and they were tortured. And
like crap.
That. And when I was actually, because I do hair and makeup for film too, part time. But I was doing makeup for a film that we were doing. Yeah. So we were doing kind of like that kind of 40s era kind of thing. But they even had like the baby cribs where it looks like cages and like all that really kind of scary stuff. But we went down in the morgue and we got some different things on camera and stuff.
Oh wow.
And I wish that I had a better camera with me at the time, but I didn't think to bring anything. It was going to work. And I didn't realize really where we were going to be. But I wish that it was still around, but they ended up demolishing it because they had turned it kind of into senior living apartments. Yeah. Just income stuff. Yeah. And or at least part of the hospital, and they ended up having a lot of problems with that. So
of course, because all the spirits.
Yeah. So they ended up just demolishing it.
Yeah. There was a guy.
I wish I could do that one better or again.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of stuff there, and even when we were doing stuff, it was off the table and just all kinds of random things. And I'm like, I know it's something, but I can't. Like, I don't have I'm working. I really can't. Can't go into it, but I know there was stuff there.
One time, one of the craziest things that I've experienced so far, and I hear very few people experience this, when I was in Las Vegas, they had put me, because do you believe in time travel? Usually you have to have a machine to time travel.
Right.
And the machine does different things. And then if you go farther into the future, they have like smaller machines, like watches. Like you can travel with a watch or a smaller device. I was put into the future by spirits themselves.
You don't need a DeLorean anymore? Just kidding.
Huh? No, I didn't see the DeLorean, but I was only there for like 3 to 5 minutes. And I saw I don't know, it was crazy, yeah. But it's crazy because not a lot of people. I've seen people before it happened to me talk about they have went to the future and stuff, and they met themselves or something like that. But for me, it was different. But also, like, have you heard of NDEs, the near-death experiences?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
people they have like different things happen to them too. Like for me, when I had passed away, I went up. And then there was like little like things with me, like little like I want to say like fairies, but they were like just small spirits. Cause like I'm like a really chill spirit, like I'm really chill, like I'm really like lazy. So I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go up. So they were like helping me go up, And I was just like, I just remember them like pulling me up because I was too lazy to go. I didn't want to go, So, but a lot of people when you're in dream world. You forget when you come to this world. That's why you'll be like, that was a crazy dream, and then a few seconds later you forget.
Yeah. No, you either have to write it down immediately.
Immediately write down or talk about it on the video, and then you remember. If not, but that's the same thing. That's the same thing in the spirit world. As soon as you go, a lot of people that have entities they forget, like me. Like I forgot mine. I'm surprised I remembered. Yeah, in their subconscious. It's in your subconscious. I didn't remember. I'm surprised I remember that because it happened, so fast.
Yeah, no, when I was in 7th or 8th grade, I actually got hit by a bus, and I don't remember any like white light kind of stuff, but I remember slow motion seeing everything,
seeing slow motion,
and seeing all that was going on.
Oh wow!
From,
up above. Yeah.
Yeah, and just watching it, and I wasn't going anywhere because I wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, because you're still here.
I was pretty damn determined.
Yeah,
but I remember watching everything, and it's very weird because even now I can think about it, and I can it's like watching a TV show.
Right, and you visualize, yeah. And a lot of people that have such like hardcore traumatic experiences, they totally forget what happened, and then sometimes they have to have like hypnotherapy or something to bring it out, like to bring it out of them, or like your past life or whatever to bring it out because you forget. But the same thing, like people, like they get drunk and they forget, and then sometimes only they have to get drunk again to remember, because that's the same state of mind. Because it also works with like mentality, Like if you're drunk or high, like you only remember that at that point.
Yeah, no, the mind is weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, the mind, I found
unexplored facets to it that.
Yeah, like the brain is not the mind.
Yeah.
Like the brain is only holding like the physical assets of the mind. Like the brain is only a physical representation of the mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the mind is like, the mind, I believe, is with the spirit. Because you can't see the mind. There's no way that the mind is visibly seen. You have to just know for yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, realistically, I mean, people only use or can recall 10% of the brain. So it's almost like a hard drive. You have the rest of the everything sitting on there in that hard drive space. You're not. And
a lot of people, they say, and a lot of people say, oh, they only use 10%. But I believe it's not 10%. It's actually a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction, because if you keep going back, you actually have lived forever in the past, like for millions, who knows how long, millions and billions of years, because your conscious, your spirit, the spirit never dies.
Right.
So if you keep going back like your past lives, you're gonna start remembering when you were like maybe like an animal or maybe like a crab and a bug because of the process. So the process is always there, like gravity. You have microorganisms, and they evolve into plants, and they evolve into bugs, and that's where we came from. We came from microscopic organisms that now we're humans. But who knows how long that took?
Right.
It could have been a billion years.
Yeah.
And you say, oh, how long is a billion years? It's just, I'm only saying a billion just so the human mind can try to comprehend how long it's been. But in fact, it could be 100 trillion billion, zillion, who knows? Because we could have had another life cycle that we had been sent back to, or who knows? It's just we could just be a small piece of something else, which I believe is also true. You know what I mean? There's so many possibilities. Everything is possible. Then you come into paradoxes, because you can say anything you can say the opposite of. So then if I'm arguing with myself, I tell myself, no, that's impossible. And I tell myself, why is it impossible? is because nobody's experienced it. But just because nobody's experienced it doesn't mean that it's probable. You see what I'm saying? That it's possible.
How do you know that nobody's experienced it?
Exactly.
Experienced it just isn't able
They
to
just
recall
can't
the
explain it.
experience.
Yeah, it's because you don't remember.
And have
That's
you talked to everybody to know
that's
that
what I'm
nobody's
saying.
experienced?
That's what I'm saying. Because it's happened, you just don't remember. Just like in the dream. Look at that. That's a badass Pokemon.
Yeah, I forget.
That's a I forget the Pokemon name.
Yeah, I know which one it is, but I can never remember their name.
I can't remember either. But I used to play and have all the cards and everything. It was nice talking to you though. I'm trying to call. Huh?
Paradoxes.
Oh no, yeah. No, I was talking about that purple creature on the Pokemon on the car. Yeah, but I was talking about paradoxes before that. Because like basically paradox is like, anything, something that seems to contradict but it makes sense. So when you have physics, normal people know what physics is. I fall, I drop something, it falls to the ground. Most people, they don't know what quantum physics are. In the quantum realm, classic physics don't make sense. See, when I throw this on the ground, it may not go to the ground. It may go up, it may go sideways, it may go nowhere and then come back. It may not come back. It may have things that we've never experienced before.
Well, that's our particular physics in this particular hemisphere and
Yeah.
atmospheric everything. So if you were to go someplace else, that's not necessarily the physics that would be there.
But even the quantum physics that is here, right here, it doesn't make sense to the classic physics. As soon as you observe things in the classic physics in the quantum realm, they change. Observation changes things. Why? Can't explain it. But it does. Why, if I look at something, does it change? You see what I'm saying? Just because it knows it's being observed, but that means my consciousness is either being represented or pressed onto that thing, giving it consciousness, or it's already conscious and doesn't realize it until something conscious observes it. So it could be like vice versa. It could be so many things. And what I experienced for myself is that at one point I had a really high consciousness, and I noticed that the walls wanted to be a part of me, and I just had to tell them, like, you will one day. It's just going to be a long, long time from now. Like what I was telling you, like millions of who knows how long. But we eat particles from food, and those particles become part of us in a sense for a little while, and then we go to the bathroom, and then some of them go away. But those that we use as energy become dispersed as heat, and things that we use as energy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Dr. Michikaku, he has like a 5-level, terminology for levels of consciousness. Level 1 of consciousness, something that knows that it exists, and then something a higher level knows space-time, self-awareness, and self-observation. So the higher you go into levels of consciousness, the more that you're conscious of higher things and other beings and other places and at one time. Because you used to say, oh, I'm conscious that I exist. Or are you conscious that you exist in other places at the same time as right now? You didn't know that. Oh, now you do. Yeah. You're conscious that you know, and you can see yourself from somewhere else at the same time as you see yourself right now. Yeah. Can you see yourself in someone else's eyes? You see what I'm saying? Now we're talking God complex. God, all-seeing eye. God can see through everybody's eyes. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? All these different powers and things. Everything goes back. It goes back. And history repeats itself. In Star Wars, a long, long time ago, and far, far, far away. But even though it was long, long ago, far, far away, the technology still surpasses ours because it was the future of their time. Right. And our time is still the past, even though it's the future of then. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. But it's just everything repeats itself. Definitely does. And it keeps going in and out. Because a lot of people, they want to talk about the planets and this, but it goes infinitely in too. Oh, yeah. Like microscopically in. Infinitely. Till you hit another dimension. Definitely. And then in those dimensions, there are multiple dimensions. And in the 8th dimension, it loops around.
The human minds cannot even wrap around it.
All right, it was good talking to you.
You too.
All right, have a good night.
You too.